It feels good to have a home that we know that we can grow our family in, which we weren't able to do in our current living situation. So that I'm very excited about. We lived in a small 2-bedroom. It's a great scene, great place to live. However, when you have a 5-year-old, you have a newborn baby, that space starts to get a lot smaller, like really quickly. So, we realized it was, kind of time to start thinking about kind of like long-term plans, and we felt that, starting a house search made a lot of sense in our situation. I'd say for me, it's just kind of the fear of the unknown. When I first started doing my own kind of due diligence in terms of the home buying experience, I even went as far as researching. It's hey, what does a real estate agent do, as part of the process that, I might not be able to do myself. And you really quickly find out that there's a lot more to the process than originally anticipated. And, I think it was a no-brainer on our part, knowing that we could definitely get a lot of benefit and value from working with a real estate agent.
The whole thought of it, the whole process of it, this is a ginormous, purchase. This can affect the rest of your life. So I think in general, buying a house, the whole picture of it is just scary.
I think on top of that too, just the current state of the real estate market, it's no secret that inventory and houses are flying off the shelves really quickly. I think adding that layer of complexity to already a very complex process. As a first-time home buyer, I think again that definitely was I think a big reason why we saw the value in working with Rafael and Ryan. I think what I enjoyed most about working with Rafael and Ryan is they really listened to me. From our first conversation, they made it a point to kind of go above and beyond to really understand kind of what our interests and what our kind of needs were within our budget range, of course. And I feel like they actually paid attention to what our criteria and what our kind of requirements were versus some of the other real estate providers that we spoke with that didn't get that same feeling. So I just felt like we kind of had a connection from the get-go, and I think that was a huge plus. Why I would recommend Ryan and Rafael, I think the primary advantage I saw was just how responsive they were throughout the entire process. Like I said, as a first-time home buyer, I'm going into this process with a lot of unknowns, a lot of questions. I think as Ryan and Rafael set, the expectation up front, this is an emotional purchase, which I learned throughout the way that it is. This is your livelihood. This is where you're raising a family. This is a large investment on your behalf, and it's not somewhere that you're just you're not just going to live somewhere for a year or 2 or 3. This is a big investment on your part. So I really appreciated the responsiveness and all all the knowledge and education that they equipped me with along the way, that I think helped me to keep my sanity. And really at the end of the day, the process wasn't as complex and as challenging as I thought it was going to be from the get-go. So, we closed on our home today. Looking back, it's hey, that really wasn't that bad. And I attribute that to the support that I got from Ryan and Rafael and Keller Williams Agency.